Welcome back, Formula Forza race fans. We're here gathered for the 7th event in the Super GT 2013 season. This is the EVO British Open around Silverstone International. Commentating with me today is Stephen Hudek. Say hi, Stephen.
Hello, everybody. What's going on?
Right, so we've got, I'm your host, Ryan McDowell, gamertag Siphon68. And we're going to be having an excellent race today. Now, this is a really sort of a technical track, one of the more technical on the calendar. I mean, we don't have Catalunya on here or anything, probably the most technical track we have, but I would compare this to probably Nürburgring GP. What do you think, Stephen?
Yeah, the Nürburgring has, its tricky bits. There's the turn one, obviously, which I guess relate to, turn two for this track, because you have a really narrow line and there's really only one way to get through it. But yet, at the same time, it's also wide and sort of corner end if you can, but you just got to be careful not to stretch it out too far, and then you end up going way out in the distance. So it's tricky to see how it turns out. Sorry, on lap one.
That's all right. Yeah, it looks like we're getting ready to go here. Right now, looks like they're starting the lobby. We'll join in just a minute, so we give time for the all the paint jobs to load and whatnot. But in qualifying here, it was one hell of a qualifying. Everybody was incredibly close, all in the 15s up until the last 10 minutes when FMS Senna somehow found a full second and went from a 15.6 to a 14.601. Claiming pole and kind of stamping his authority on the GT500s. FMS Top Secret then right behind him with a 15.5, so 9/10 or so behind him. XPR Moon Tower starts, qualified third. We'll get into the starting order here in just a minute. In GT300 though, another big shock, and it wasn't a last-minute post. It was Scooby-Dooby-Doo from Sail Motorsports that would take pole from in flames, and there was really nothing he could do. It looks like roughly 0.03 of a second between the two, but ultimately Scooby-Dooby-Doo and his Zonda was able to take pole and hold it for pretty much all of the third day of qualifying. And I don't know about you, Stephen, but that was a shocker to me to see Scooby-Dooby-Doo, relatively new team, out-qualify the #1 R1 driver on Forza Motorsport 4.
Yeah, it was...
He sort of trailed off there a bit, but I mean, I'm sure that your excitement for this is just as much as mine. I mean, to see that happen, and yes, these aren't R1 cars, but clearly, these guys have lots of experience and good control over cars in general, and to see In Flames not at the top, it was just a big shocker, especially from a new team like the Zondas from Sail Motorsports.
And it's just really amazing for them. So congrats to Scooby-Dooby-Doo, and see if they can keep it up during the race. So it looks like taking the grid order here.
Yeah, after we account for our grid penalties and whatnot, which there are a huge handful of those in the lobby today, but it looks like Ferrari Fanatic, who we're on board with right now, or well, at least the camera is focused on, Ferrari Fanatic 9 will start on pole for these guys, and Skullsy Slash will start on the front row second for GT500. Then we get to the GT300s before we get to the rest of the GT500s, which is pretty crazy. It means the rest of the GT500 has some sort of roll-off delay because of how much grid penalty they have.
Yeah, so you have, I guess the first roll-off would be with Cookie, who has some...
Yeah, Cookie has a 2-second delay. XPR Moon Tower then 4-second delay. Mr. Dr. Spaceman a 5-second delay coming off his win. Then you've got, in GT500 at least, FMS Top Secret with a 7-second delay, and then FMS Senna a 16-second delay. That is incredible.
Yeah, and on such a short track, we keep saying every week that that's got to do something, but then 30 minutes in, he's right. We'll have to see how that all plays out in the end.
Yeah, definitely. I would have expected some of this grid penalty to affect him more, but he's clearly got the skills to make it happen here. It's just he's had some unique stuff that has stopped him from having a perfect record here, and I think it all for the best, honestly, that we don't just have the same driver every time.
Yeah, I would agree with that 100%. Coming from some performances that we've seen in the past with V8 supercars, which was Serpent Racing Team, but we don't want to see the one team dominating every time we go out. So it's great that we have these type of systems in place.
So, not to be confused, but we are currently looking at Skolzy/'s Rebellion Racing. This does not appear to be quite the right livery, but for those of you watching, this is Skolzy/. So, if you're looking at the spotter's guide, try not to be confused by this.
Aston Martin livery, perhaps.
Yeah, it does. It does kind of look like the Golf, the Aston Martin Golf livery.
We're looking at Scooby-Dooby-Doo sitting on the second grid, right behind the two GT300 cars. Seems rather scarce for GT.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, they're all there. They're all just kind of at the back. All right, I have to assume that we're going to go here in about 10 seconds. I'm going to guess we're going to go at the 5-minute mark. So we'll see how that goes.
Maybe restart, looks like, or just super lag. I think the ladder's probably looking.
Wow, it is looking like super lag at the moment. Looks like that's in flames.
Or he's just that antsy to get going. Who do you have in mind early?
Say that again. Who do I have in mind for?
Like, who do you have in mind for, like, podiums and race, or class wins, I mean, for this?
We must be having just a little bit of mic difficulty there. You keep cutting out. I think the point you're trying to get across is who do I have in mind for our podiums in both classes, and I gotta say that I am really thinking that nobody can stop FMS Senna from winning this race here. And it's going to be a big challenge in the GT300 for Inflames to catch Scooby-Dooby-Doo. ZX Squid always has strong performances. I'm going to say Scooby-Dooby-Doo for the win in GT300, Inflames second, and possibly ZX Squid for third. But who knows? We could see BTR Dark Dragon even get his first podium here.
Yeah, I mean, that would be where I'm at as well. The same order as that we have for the starting order in GT3. Very, very interesting after maybe first, second.
Apologize for that. Trying to listen in on the chat here to figure out where we're at with our start, and it looks like we're going to go at 7:30 after we had a Rica Brazil lag out there. So 7:30, lights are about to go out, and there they go.
see how that works out.
Yeah, into the first turn, looks like Scooby-Doo. Jeez, those Zondas are incredibly close to each other. Bold maneuver there in the inside. Oh, maybe contact. Yes, looks like contact for BTR Dark Dragon. I don't know if it's going to be enough to cause a restart, but it looked like bold maneuver there up the inside. The GT500 car there, Mr. Dr. Spaceman trying to get around some of these GT300s. I'm seeing some pop out here, so we must be getting ready for a restart.
Yeah, I would...
Good Lord! Sweet Jesus, we see ZX Squid smash into the wall. I gotta assume we have a restart. He's not here, so you gotta go. Alright, I got it. Ferrari Fanatic 9, then Skullsy / 46. Then we've got GT300 cars before we get to the roll-off delay. Scooby-Dooby-Doo 3rd, Fear the Darkness 4th.
Use my push to talk now, see if
IMSA 90 GTO
so that,
5th.
we have less
Rika Brazil,
breaking up.
If he was here, would have been 6th. Platonic Lotus otherwise will take his position, normally 7th. BTR Dark Dragon 8th. Then Subway Cookie behind all them with a 2-second roll-off delay in 9th. XPR Moon Tower is 10th. Mr. Dr. Spaceman is
once again,
11th with a 5-second delay.
The
Moon Tower's delay was a 4-second delay.
Goes.
ZX Squid 12th behind Mr. Dr. Spaceman with a 5-second delay.
And hello in the booth to
FMS
Shivo.
Top Secret.
What's up?
7-second delay. In Flames 9-second delay. Then FMS Senna rather 16-second delay. All right, it looks like we were waiting on Rika Brazil there and a little bit of contact. So they're hoping to get this going with Rika Brazil. I know before the race they were concerned about his connection. So who knows? Oh, looks like he just popped out as well. So I think they just kind of got to go here. We are past the time.
Yeah, I would think, yeah, and that's exactly what they're doing.
All right, we'll hop into this race. Hopefully we'll get it good on this one.
Yep.
You know, I have to say, I'm really impressed. I know we've been talking about it in the podcast, but I have to say I'm really impressed with the Sail Motorsports and Sail Racing. With how the grid penalties work out, they are 1, 2, 3 at the front there in the GT300. So that's really impressive stuff.
Yeah, it seems that I mean, they were a relative unknown, if not complete unknown, going into the season, and they've really showed their stuff. And it's great that we have another team emerging as you know, perennial contenders. So it's very great to see.
I know when they were first talking to us, they were sort of considering their options, and at first they didn't get the Zonda. Like, they did some testing with it, and they're like, I don't know if this is really the right car. And after talking with us a while, I sort of urged that for sure that they choose this Zonda, that there's more potential there. They just got to unlock it. It takes a little bit of time to get the feel for this car, but it is one of the best car, if not the best car. I know when you and I did testing in preseason, the Zonda was top of the charts for the GT300s if you take out the Rossi and Q1, which we ended up doing.
Right. It was definitely one of my top 3, and I know that we ended up going with McLaren for Python Motorsports, which I think was overall, I think it was better balanced for what we were looking at, but it was definitely, you know, it was Zonda, McLaren, Zonda, McLaren,
I think I had the Audi 5.2 in there. If you had the DLC Lamborghini, that one was also right up there. The Ascari was really good. So I mean, there were a lot that were really competitive, and they weren't first-round choices for a lot of these teams, which is kind of shocking.
Yeah, there's definitely some of the choices when you go in testing and you're like, okay, well, this is definitely going to be chosen. Then you look at the grid order, or the grid, and you go, huh, definitely would have never thought of that. Like with LCR and the Weissman, like where'd that come from?
Yeah, absolutely. I did not expect that Weissman. Just trying to look at the back of the grid here to see how set we are. I'm thinking we might be ready for a 3-minute go time here. Switch to BTR Dark Dragon right before it goes. Oh geez, and they're away. Into Cops, it's gonna look, oh man, he splits, tries to thread the needle there between those two Zondas and does get away with it. Ends up picking up that position.
Definitely some bold maneuvering going on early.
Oh, looks like a little bit of a wide maneuver there from one of the Zondas. I'm not sure whether that was Scooby-Dooby-Doo or IMSA 90 GTO. We'll see here in just a moment.
Looks like BTR Dark Dragon trying to get a hold on first place.
Oh, and a little bit of contact there between IMSA 90 GTO and BTR Dark Dragon. A little bit of contact there with Mr. Dr. Spaceman as well.
And it looks like Moon Tower and now Top Secret have gone by. We'll see if that was enough damage to cause a restart.
We'll check damage here. Let's see. 8%. No, not enough. Very light taps. Look at these Zondas, though. Certainly not letting up on pressure, even with as much contact as already happened. I mean, they're light contacts, but we still have two Zondas out in front and a Zonda in fourth, still breathing down the neck of that GTR.
Yep. This is looking like a Zonda army.
ZX Squid back there.
Sail guys are definitely.
Yeah, you see ZX Squid there starting to make up ground on these guys too.
Yeah, that's all part of the game. You gotta try to make your passes as quickly as possible, or else you're gonna get sort of stranded by the faster guys coming through.
We're going to see how the GT500s are doing here in just a minute. Ferrari Fanatic has fallen from first to third. It looks like Subway Cookie just went around, and Skulzy Slash is currently leading the race. So Skulzy Slash, Subway Cookie, Ferrari Fanatic 9 are your top three. Not too much gap there, and then it looks like Moon Tower behind that.
And I think I saw Top Secret in there right behind Moon Tower as well. See if those two guys can team up and split the field.
That's fourth place Moon Tower, then fifth is Mr. Dr. Spaceman, then FMS Top Secret, then FMS Senna in seventh. will ride on board here with XPR Moon Tower as he chases down Ferrari Fanatic in that GTR. Now, these guys have excellent corner launch. He's chasing him now in what will be the bridge section coming up. Serpent Racing here, after their last great performance at Mugello, stole the team championship lead. So we are looking at potentially another race that will help them. Man, he's really closing quickly on the back of that GTR. But the team ahead is the one that's wanting to hold on to its chances of getting back into the lead. So this is sort of a battle of epic proportions here. Can FMS Senna win this race, and can Serpent Racing hold off Ferrari Fanatic from collecting too many points? I got to think that this pass is all but imminent here.
Yeah, we want the guys definitely worked hard this season, and it's definitely going to be a great battle to come in this race and then Suzuka next weekend. And I think one other thing that we probably should mention is that Senna can clinch the Drivers' Championship, if not already, this race. So we'll see if he can get it done.
That's true, but that is also not so terrible, clinching it on 7th round of 8-round championship. Ooh, going a little wide there. Going a little wide. Is Moon Tower going to get the pass right here? Down into Brooklands.
Looks like he's cleared him.
Yep, you can tell by his corner exit there that he's already made the pass and pinched off any hope of taking that back into left field. Now certainly has taken the position. Up into third is XPR Moon Tower, now trying to hone in on Subway Cookie and Skolzy Slash, the two who are up in first and second at the moment.
I think I saw they're rather close, I think, up in the first and second. I think Cookie's gotten himself right up to Skolzy. We could check in on.
Yeah, I'll switch to that right now. Yeah, certainly very close here.
We should probably check in on Senna as well, see where he's gone since the start.
All right, we'll check on Senna. Coming out of pit lane there. So, wow, interesting strategy, probably the right strategy for FMS Senna. Get that pit out of the way early, and then just a charge for the remaining, 25 laps.
Yeah, definitely, I think probably it was the right call, him going through, and since it's being a very small, short, tight track, definitely will be held up by any and all traffic, and he has to make up quite a bit of traffic, so that's probably the right call for him.
What we'll do is when he crosses the line, we'll go up to Mr. Dr. Spaceman and we'll figure out what the gap is.
I think from where he started and then another pit, I would probably have a gander and say that it's probably around half a lap, but we'll see how that all plays out.
All right, so here he comes. I'm thinking it's not going to be that much. We'll see when it pops over. 33-second gap. So wow, you are right. It is just under half a lap, especially with his pit in that delta as well. So the end of this race is going to be really interesting for GT500.
Yeah, if Senna can play his cards right and not have any troubles with GT300 traffic and the slower GT500 traffic, he should have, I wouldn't say no problems at all, because he'll have to get past the Serpent Racing guys and Cookie, and we'll have to see how that all plays out. But he definitely has a challenge ahead of him, but I think his pit strategy is probably a good call for him.
Yeah, I think so. We're on board now with ZX Squid. always a strong performer for the high-performance racing crew here. We got BTR Dark Dragon behind him in 5th, and in flames there, you can see right on the heels of BTR Dark Dragon in 6th, so he has not made up any positions yet, similar to FMS Senna. That's going to be really tough for him to catch the Zondas with, you know, the kind of lap times that they're capable of.
Yep, it's definitely a course where the Ferrari isn't as favorable as, say, the McLarens. The McLarens, it seems that they have better acceleration coming out of the slow corners, and there's quite a couple on this track, and followed by relatively long straightaways. But the cornering ability in that Ferrari is pretty good, and then of course with Ken behind the wheel is definitely not a force to be misunderestimated.
Right, you certainly don't want to underestimate Ken in any class in any car. But yeah, we're seeing him hone in on the back there. Whoa, there we see the leader GT500 now coming up on GT300. So a pass is going to happen here pretty soon. Just a little bit of shuddering there. I don't know if you can see that on Skolzy Slash, so a little bit of lag there. So I think we're seeing In Flames back off a little to make sure he doesn't get collected in the wake of some collision there. I'm pretty sure that the next car by I saw Moon Tower, not Subway Cookie. So does that mean, I'll have to take a look here real quick. Before we leave GT300, real quick, all three of the top guys, whoa, In Flames getting incredibly close there into Brooklands. Does get the pass. That is XPR Moon Tower behind. Geez, just too much happening to really cover it all.
It looks like Moon Tower is past now.
I guess the question is that... Oh yeah, that would be Moon Tower, and that's Ferrari Fanatic behind, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely looks like it. I think that only leaves that Cookie has entered pit row, or pit lane, excuse me, or he had some sort of an incident that we didn't catch, but probably the former is more likely the case.
Holy cow. So an update on what was happening there. That's actually FMS Top Secret, not Moon Tower. So Moon Tower must have pit. That is FMS Top Secret up into 2nd. Ferrari Fanatic is 3rd. Mr. Dr. Spaceman 4th. Subway Cookie is 5th now, and XPR Moon Tower 6th. So Subway Cookie and XPR Moon Tower, we haven't confirmed this yet, but it appears that they have pit early and have sent themselves to the back of the field with their pit out of the way now, though. When I say back of the field, I still mean ahead of FMS Senna.
It's definitely interesting call on Moon Tower's, or excuse me, not Moon Tower, Top Secret's part, because we're sort of seeing the opposite pit strategy of what Senna's been doing. So we'll see how the two definitely work.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're seeing this, but Fear the Darkness, total rookie driver here, is leading the race as he ducks into the pit, I suppose, but still leading the race. That's pretty good. ZX Squid now leading the race. In Flames is 2nd, BTR Dark Dragon 3rd. But those three have not done their pits, so we'll have to see where that kind of comes out.
So there's Cookie going by, followed by Moon Tower, so there's quite a bit of a gap between the two of them.
We'll follow FMS Top Secret right now. Top Secret right now is running just a tad slower, about half a second slower than his qualifying pace. You can see there a 1:16.184 based on his qualifying of 1:15.560. So I don't know if Senna can run those 1:14.6s very consistently, but if he can, I don't think anybody has a prayer.
We'll definitely have to see how that goes. of course, with all the lap traffic and stuff, you can't necessarily be super consistent with times once the field gets spread out. But it's definitely all about traffic management in these really short races. You see 15.4 from Top Secret. That definitely improved on his qualifying time. So
yeah, definitely.
See if
so
he can keep that up.
That's certainly what he needs. We're now on board with Senna. We'll see if we can get a time up there on the board. Wow, it looks like he's going to make a maneuver on XPR Moon Tower. Moon Tower's not going to want to have any of that.
As they're trying to put, I think that's BTR Dark Dragon.
Expect
lap down.
very, very tight competition here between the two here. Oh man, it looks like just a tad of contact there. I don't know. I couldn't hear whether there actually was a crunch or not, but it kind of looked like there was a bit of a tap with Senna going inside on that one.
Might have been lag as well. You can see the Moon Tower kind of shuddering a little bit in the distance, but definitely close racing.
Yeah, very close, and we know that both of those guys are top-notch drivers. Moon Tower clearly has very good control over that difficult to handle, has to be said, NSX. Now this GTR is after the first couple of races, it was pretty much declared that the GTR was the favored car of the lot. FMS Senna now is 5th place. Oh no, IMSA 90 GTO from Sale Motorsports. We see that that he just left the game. So he lags out from the race in what would have been, it would have appeared after pits, possibly 2nd place.
That's definitely unfortunate for him. He was having such a strong run, qualifying into A-Lobby, and having a really good race. He was up into 4th, I think, at the time.
He was 5th based on pits, but remember that those front 3 have not pit yet, so he was running 2nd to Scooby-Dooby-Doo for the majority of these laps here. I mean, we're 13 laps in now, and he was running 2nd for the majority of that, and you got to think that after the pits workout, he still would have been 2nd. I just don't know where he would end up at the very end of the race, but I would say a candidate for 2nd.
Just looking at that last lap time there from Senna, 16, I think it was at 16.4, 16.8.
It's a 16.9.
16.9, but definitely seeing lap traffic, play a role in how consistent you can get those times.
Geez, and then a 15.1 there, and his best, a 14.874. He is now all over the back of Skolzy Slash and Subway Cookie, probably going to force a... Wow, there, just as I say that, Skolzy Slash flies off track there. So Senna now up into 4th, chasing down Subway Cookie.
And see if he can get ahead of Cookie as quickly as he did with some of the other lap traffic. It looks like Cookie's defending his line, unless he took a wide exit.
Senna is definitely catching him here. It's just a matter of, I mean, it's one thing to catch up, it's another thing to actually make the pass. Good Lord. And it just happened that quickly. I don't know if that was just a wide line there from Cookie, but the over-unders, FMS Senna got him there in left field. Did you see that? I mean, we were focused on Senna so much that you couldn't see that it appeared that Subway went a little wide, and Senna just went straight under him and picked up the position. I mean, the one camera shot, it showed him behind. The next camera shot as we're coming out of left field showed him ahead. So that's incredible. Senna now up into 3rd.
Definitely now you see me, or now you see me, now you don't.
Yeah, we'll take this opportunity and go over to our GT300 grid and see how Scooby-Dooby-Doo and the rest of the Sale franchise is doing here. Scooby currently running...
Looks like those...
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say the front three. It doesn't look like they've pitted as of yet.
No, and you know, if I was in their shoes, I wouldn't either. I'd be holding out until the very end, unless this Zonda can get up on the back of them. If you think you can build a gap, then yeah, go for it. I would wait until the very end of the race to make that pit strategy. With him choosing early, I mean, you're only dooming yourself to try and play catch up if you pit now.
Yeah, that's where that strategy can bite you in the behind really hard. So it's just one of those things that you have to gamble on when you pit early. Is you can't afford to make a mistake, otherwise you have to pit yet again. Whereas if you leave that pit for later and you make a mistake, then you can just go right on in and not really lose any more time on track.
Yeah. Now we've seen it is difficult to pull off, but we've seen the early pit work out for a couple of guys. And, you know, it's generally one of the big ones like, holy cow, I can't believe that happened, when you see an early pit strategy work out. We saw that work out for, was that XPR Chicane just a couple of races ago, where all he had to do was run a flawless late race after I think it was Mugello, where he ran pretty much, or not Mugello, I'm sorry, maybe it was Camino.
Road Atlanta?
Road Atlanta, good lord. Third time's a charm. But yeah, it's one of those things where it just kind of everything lines up and it works out. The late pit strategy is a little bit less tactical, but it does leave you a little bit of room for error.
Yeah, exactly. I think the guys that usually qualify out front, or who have the grid, like don't have any grid penalties or anything like that, they usually go for the later pit just because they have the clean air right off the bat. Whereas when you qualify later in the grid, you have to make yourself some clean air, so that's why you would pit early.
Yeah, we'll shuffle up here and see how In Flames is doing on the back of ZX Squid. We know both of these guys are going to be honing for every single point they can, but I got to think that Flames has got the pace to take that position from ZX Squid. It just might be a couple of laps now as we approach the halfway point of this race.
Yeah, just looking at the points, there's a 71-point gap between In Flames and ZX Squid for first place in the Drivers' Championship. So ZX Squid is going to have to try to keep In Flames behind him at all costs.
Yeah, and there's no reason he should have to give up his line. I mean, you know, I know we say we don't do one move. You know, we don't take a Formula One style of a one move defend. Most what we look at as kind of weaving or something like that. If you're getting passed on the straight, you really just got to let them go by. They've already done it, you know. But if you want to if you want to take defensive lines in corners, you be as defensive as you want. But yeah, I mean, even for us, the one move is sort of excessive, you know, because it is a defensive maneuver. It's not like taking a wide line in a corner. It's you are making a block on another driver that is faster than you.
Yeah, and then you do that, and that's just a little reckless. You can have, excuse me, you can have definitely a lot of problems with if you don't put it to good use. As we see, is that who was that just pitted? GT500? Is that?
We'll take a look. It might have been Ferrari Fanatic, yeah. Indeed, it was Ferrari Fanatic. He's coming out of the pits now. With Mr. Dr. Spaceman there, if I'm not mistaken. Looks like he's going to lose out on a position there to Mr. Dr. Spaceman when this is all said and done. He did pit from second, though, so that's a good showing for Jet Vets, for sure. If Ferrari Fanatic can retain pretty good points at this race, Jet Vets is going to have a good case for themselves to take the fight back in the team championship.
Yeah, definitely. It's gonna be a very, very close affair come at the end of Suzuka if this keeps up.
Suzuka will be a very interesting race because it's the full track. We didn't use a club or sort of intermediate circuit like we normally do. So it's tough to say what'll happen there, but I think the top speeds will still favor this GTR. And I don't know that we could have known that at the beginning of the season, that the GTR would have capable of just so much higher top end. In fact, it almost looked like the NSX would have been the favored car at the beginning of the season. I don't know what you thought about that.
It's definitely one of those things where you look at a car and you put a conventional setup on it and you go, well, that works, I guess, but then you put a conventional setup on another car and you go, okay, well, this definitely works better. And in this case, that's what happened with us in the NSX. But it definitely sounds like Senna's gotten something different out of that Nissan that definitely favors that car now.
Good Lord, FMS Senna up into second at this point. We are 27 minutes in, and he's in second, chasing down the leader. Let me just double check. FMS Top Secret at the moment.
Let's see how much of a gap that there is between the two cars. When Top Secret makes his pit eventually, he's going to have to make it soon. There's only 11 laps left.
Yeah.
It'll have to be, or 10 laps, I guess, because Top Secret's ahead of Senna. But we'll have to see how that all works out.
Yeah,
I think it's definitely going to be close.
It is going to be close because it looks like a 20. What was that? A 24, 25 second gap between the two.
Yeah, I would put it somewhere around there.
FMS Top Secret going around BTR Dark Dragon there. Dark Dragon is flying solo this weekend. There is no BTR McNish on the grid. I'm not sure what happened with Nick. I'm sure prior engagements or something. But that's going to be sort of bad news for them, good news for Sail Motorsports, especially with the big charge they're making right now that'll help them gain ground on the rest of the other teams. I think they're sort of out of it in the team and driver championship, but they can certainly work themselves up into the winnings at this point, which I think is shocking. I think you think about a team joining halfway and their chances of getting up into the winnings, that's a little incredible. I don't know what the rest of the teams think on that.
Yeah, like I was saying, they just came out of nowhere in the last few races, and they've put themselves into a position where if they keep their current pace, it's definitely plausible that they can get up into the winnings. Be definitely a great achievement for them, and something that they can look forward to in the next season of Formula Forza when we get working on some other stuff.
Absolutely. Okay, an update on the GT300s. Scooby-Dooby-Doo has gone back into second with In Flames making his pit. So In Flames has not cleared Scooby, and Fear the Darkness is actually, it would appear, Fear the Darkness, yes, running third at the moment, pit out of the way. So ZX Squid still needs to make his pit. We can try and see what the gap is at the end of the next lap from ZX Squid to Scooby, but my guess is it's going to be kind of close.
Let the suspense begin.
No doubt. So, speaking of Silverstone here, we did see that Forza Motorsport 5 does have the new layout for Silverstone, and I couldn't be happier about that. I mean, I know that they revamped that. What was that? 2010? They came out with the arena. The arena. Is that what it's called? The arena layout.
The arena circuit. Yeah, it was 2010. Although I think they made some more slight adjustments for 2011. For the F1 race, but it's definitely long overdue since we've had 2 Forza Motorsport titles since they updated it. So definitely something to very much look forward to for Forza 5. I know I am.
Yeah, I'm excited about it too. You know what else it changes? The international circuit isn't this layout anymore. They sort of cut out some of these sections of track, and the international circuit actually uses the other pit side. Now the national circuit still uses this layout, or well, not this layout, but I mean uses the old pits as opposed to the new, right, uses the old pit lane as opposed to the new pit lane with the sort of wing structure that they've made.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the key features of the Silverstone track. I know they use it a lot for touring cars and some other smaller events. I think Radico Cup, I think, uses the national layout as well. But one other thing that is kind of not sort of obvious is that whether or not the Stowe circuit, which is inside between was it Stowe and the next corner of the track, which I guess is the last corner now in the current Formula 1 circuit. The name of the corner eludes me at the moment, but we all know what I'm talking about, hopefully.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to see whether they put in some of the go-kart or the smaller circuit tracks in here as well.
I think if I know that they were talking about putting open wheel cars in the game. I doubt that go-karts would make an entry into Forza Motorsport. I think it's too small of a category, but we'll have to see. I mean, we don't really know what kind of open wheel cars that they're going to have apart from the IRL cars and the two 70s Formula 1 cars, which I cannot wait to drive.
Yeah, totally with you on that one. I have heard some rumors about potentially more F1 cars making it, not modern F1 cars, but other F1 cars. And either way, I'm just excited that they're including open wheel in there. I mean, I'm hoping for the Bachmano. I'm hoping for the Ariel Atom, the Caterhams, you know, those sorts of cars. And I can't wait to do some championships with those.
Yeah, for sure. It'll change a lot of the ways that the organized sports will be thinking about going forward.
So FMS Senna still running second at the moment, and that gap between Scooby and ZX Squid was about the same. It's about 24 seconds there, maybe just a little bit less. You know, it could be somewhere between the 21 to 24 second gap between those two cars. So it's going to be really close when the pits do come out, but I don't think we're going to see those until the very end of the race. These are smart drivers. They know, you know, to extend that out as long as they can and try and pull a gap.
Yeah, see how much lap time that the differences between Top Secret and Senna. We see Senna just pulled out a 15 flat after a 17-1 or 2. See if Top Secret's been able to keep sort of a similar pace as well.
Right now running the running order, we've got FMS Top Secret first, FMS Senna second, Subway Cookie third, XPR Moon Tower fourth, Skullsy Slash fifth, Mr. Dr. Spaceman is sixth, Ferrari Fanatic still in seventh at the moment. That's your GT500 grid order there. We'll switch over to GT300 here in just a minute when we see what the gap is here. Coming out of left field here. "26 seconds" it says. So we'll there you see it, 26. Yeah, so I think take 2 or 3 seconds off of there for transitioning between drivers, and you're still talking extremely close for what's going to happen when they pit. I don't know that Senna is really pulling on FMS Top Secret.
I think it's just Senna is definitely, I don't know, it almost looks like he's not getting through the traffic as easy as So he has been the last couple of races, and I think maybe Top Secret's been able to pull more consistent lap times through the lap traffic. We'll definitely have to see once Top Secret pits. Can't imagine that he'd stay out much longer.
Geez, just as we say that, right, he goes right in. You know, I couldn't agree more with your statement there. We'll switch to Senna to see where he comes out. So we know Top Secret is in. We'll see if we can't get a view of where he's at.
It's gonna be really close.
Oh, he's got it. He's already got it. There's Top Secret back in the pit still. Jeez. So wow.
Looks like about 5 seconds or so, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know that he can do it, but to back up what you were saying, Top Secret's last lap, 15.8. His best was a 15.4. Senna now in a groove, another 15 flat from Senna. Like I said at the beginning, I really don't think there's anything anybody can do about this. I think Senna is going to capture yet another win for his Super GT and Jet Vets.
Definitely looks that way. We'll have to see if Senna can just keep it clean the last few laps. Of course, we all know what happened at Road Atlanta rather. So everything isn't said and done until the fat lady sings.
Moon Tower here, fourth. Just seeing he's got a pretty good gap, maybe somewhere around an 8-second gap to Subway Cookie ahead. Maybe that's a little bit. Maybe it's somewhere between 6 and 8, just judging by distance there.
Yeah, but definitely one of the slower portions of the track. It's probably safe to assume it's around that. Then you got to take into account for Suzuka, if the standings, or say if the race finishes as it does now, you're going to have Cookie with, Cookie with an increased grid delay, and then of course Top Secret and Senna will have increased delay as well. But then Moon Tower, I believe, is alleviated of all grid penalties, maybe 1 second delay.
I don't mean to cut you off there, but ZX Squid has pit. He is second now, with only 5 laps to go for the GT300. So fantastic stuff. Scooby in the lead. We've got In Flames third at the moment. Fear the Darkness is fourth. BTR Dark Dragon is fifth. And that's the back of our GT300 grid. That's incredible. Should have had 8, but Platonic Lotus, Rica Brazil, and let's see, who else are we missing there? IMSA 90 GTO also lagged out. So, yeah, that's it. So this is going to be a Zonda really heavy here. We've got Zonda in the lead, and we've got Fear the Darkness in fourth at the moment on different teams, albeit, but still. Good stuff for them.
Yeah, it's definitely great work from the Sail guys. Like I said, it's very, very great accomplishment for those guys to sort of come in late in the season and be able to have a terrific showings the last few races that they have.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
Looks like is coming to take the white flag, if I saw that correctly.
That's right. About 15 more seconds here. And, well, 15 more seconds now, I suppose. And we'll have the white flag out for GT500. Another sort of dominant and very consistent display from FMS Senna here at this race. I mean, really, other than a little bit of chop getting through traffic, has had a near flawless race. We saw that little bump with Moon Tower, but let's just double check, yeah, on the damage, just to see that there isn't any. Yeah, no damage there for FMS Senna. So you could be right. That may have been just lag that showed us a little bit of a tap there. Or maybe there was a tap, just not enough to cause damage. But yeah, this is good stuff for Jet. Kind of goes up the inside of bridge there.
Yeah, he's got 2 corners left to go, and this win's all his. Was that a battle for position in GT 300 right ahead of Senna?
Might have been there. Fear the darkness. Well, I don't know. Oh yeah, looks like there might be between ZX Squid and Flames. So FMS Senna then does get the win. We'll go over to FMS Top Secret. He does get second as he plows spectacularly into the wall. XPR Moon Tower is third then.
Crosses the line third.
Nice
Where
work.
did that pass happen?
I don't know. In the last couple of laps there, Subway Cookie then, that puts him fourth. Skullsy Slash then fifth. And I believe that's Mr. Dr. Spaceman sixth. And Ferrari Fanatic seventh.
So we were talking about before with Senna having to win and Ferrari Fanatic having to try to gain as much points as possible. We see Serpent Racing with the double podium to counteract that, which the points will be very, very close, if not the same. I think we've had a couple of races between those 2 teams in particular where I think it was like plus minus 2 points between each other.
Yeah, I'd have to go check. Maybe you can check on the website real quick. What's points for? I mean, I know Senna's going to have 120 points for this weekend. What's 7th place points there for Ferrari Fanatic?
Just loading the page.
We're on board here with In Flames and ZX Squid as we watch the battle for second. A pretty noticeable gap in points from second to third, so this is kind of an important pass to happen with just 3 laps to go here.
7th place would give Ferrari Fanatic 53 points, so that would be 173 points. And then, of course, Senna has the overtake points as well, so you got to take that into account. So that's another 6 or 7 points for him. So 126.
Yeah, it should be 6.
Yeah, so just about 180 points for those 2.
All right, and then what are we thinking about Serpent Racing?
Let's see, that would be 140. No, it would be, sorry, 160 plus
handful of overtaking points,
so
yeah.
Very close.
Yeah, incredibly close. What's the gap between those 2 teams at the moment in the standings?
Give me 1 second.
We're seeing In Flames make a couple of peaks around ZX Squid here, but really not enough ground to make a pass. I mean, it's got to be in one of the grip sectors, or in one of the corners that he makes the maneuver, because he certainly does not have the legs on that McLaren.
Yeah, that was sort of what I was touching on before with the McLaren being able to get a better run out of the corners. But what you were saying before, just check the points. If you take into account Senna's pole points, so the 20 points, Serpent Racing and Jet Vets separated by, wait for it, 4 points.
Wow.
Going into this race, of course.
So this will be Jet Vets taking back the lead by a very small margin.
I would believe so. It would be 160, 100. No, I think the Serpent Racing guys actually will probably have it, but by very slim margin.
Geez, I don't want to take my eyes off of this, but we are about to see the white flag drop for Scooby-Dooby-Doo of Sail Motorsports.
This is just a very, very close battle between
and
Flames.
He's got to make it happen this lap, or it's not happening at all. running order right now. Scooby-Dooby-Doo in first, ZX Squid second, and Flames third at the moment. Fear the Darkness is in fourth, BTR Dark Dragon fifth, and that's our GT300 grid at the moment.
Ooh, a little out of shape there.
Yeah, he's certainly trying to get desperate on a maneuver.
Oh, we have a little bit of a development. Senna just coming on the chat and saying he's not going to be able to make the finale.
Man, that'll be big, big stuff for Jet Vets. I think all but wraps it up for Serpent Racing then.
Of course, they...
All right, we've got to switch to Scooby at this point because he's just seconds away from finishing. We'll try and switch back to those two as they finish out their race, but they're not far behind Scooby here either. So Scooby-Dooby-Doo does pick up the team's first win, and his first win. Fantastic stuff from Scooby and Sail Motorsports.
Yep, congrats. Is had by all.
And we just...
Definitely BB.
We're going to switch over here. And we just see them both cross the line there. That's ZX Squid gets second and Flames third. Whew, that was a really close battle between those two. Fear the Darkness then fourth. He's bringing it home. He does collect fourth, I believe. Let's switch. Yes, he does collect fourth. BTR Dark Dragon then has got to be not far from finishing out his lap. Looks like he's just coming out of left field there to come home fifth. Wow, that was a fantastic race. I don't know what you thought about that, Stephen, but that to me that was one of our better races of the season. To see Senna come back from such a big deficit at the beginning. I mean, I would have liked a little bit more excitement in the GT 500, but man, GT 300 was exciting as all get out.
Yeah, I think it just all comes down to the competition levels that we've seen the last couple of races in the GT300 class. So the qualifying times have just been really, really tight. It probably would have been a lot tighter in that class had we not had those few lag outs, but it's definitely one of the better races. I have to agree with you, Ryan, on a definitely.
Well, this sets it up well for the finale that's going to be next week at Suzuka, the full circuit. I can't wait for qualifying, which opens up on Wednesday night at midnight. I guess that would be Thursday then. It goes Thursday to Sunday, and all right, I'm sorry. It goes Thursday to Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern, which is midnight GMT or British Standard Time, I suppose. And we're going to see how this whole thing cooks down. We know it's in GT500. The team championship is going to be extremely close. And I can't wait to see what happens there. For all of us here at Formula Forza, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you next week as we prepare for the Suzuka circuit. All right. Just now we're gonna switch over to a post-race interview with the drivers here from Group A, so we'll see what they say.
All right, sounds good.
All right, guys, give me 1 minute, and I'll switch over the audio here so that you can be heard on the Twitch cast. And I want to get some opinions about what you guys thought, but give me just 1 minute before you start in. First, I gotta say, hats off to Scooby for winning his first GT300 race. That was incredible stuff. I got to imagine that IMSA 90 GTO would have been very close behind you on that one. Scooby, anything you want to say on your first win there?
Yeah. Fantastic, mate. Absolutely overwhelmed. Really, really worked for it. The whole team have worked for this, to be honest with you.
I'm having difficulty hearing him.
For just over a week. Getting fine-tuning, and it's finally paid off. So it's a big thank you to our main tuner, who is Stonerdale 2012. He was on pole position for the B lobby. I'm not too sure how he's finished yet, but big thank you to him. Yeah.
He probably like that because he joined our race about halfway through.
Well, also
right,
Fear the Darkness. That was no slouch on your behalf as well. 4th place is incredible points for Sail Racing, and I guess one of the more impressive battles was between ZX Squid and In Flames. It's too bad he's not in here anymore, but ZX Squid, you had to be feeling the pressure there on those last couple of laps as he was breathing down your neck.
Most definitely, my controller is definitely sweating more than I am.
Well said, well said. All right, let's switch over. Go ahead.
It was tough, but...
All right, so over in GT 500 then, we didn't get to see it. What happened between Subway Cookie and Moon Tower? It seemed like in the very last lap there was an overtake there. Moon Tower, you want to give us your rendition of what happened there?
Basically, it looks like he was just pushing a little bit too hard the last couple of laps, and through that last S section, you get sliding in one of these cars. It's hard to recover, so just a little racing incident with himself.
Subway, you wanna chime in with any poignant thoughts there?
Yep, basically what happened was I downshifted one too many, and the car just lost it, and I couldn't recover.
You know, to be fair,
time.
We saw that happen with In Flames' first outing in the R1 season at Sebring. He downshifted one too many times and totally lost it. He almost had to retire from that race. He fell from 1st at the time to 5th. So I would say losing one position, you probably did okay with it. Top Secret and Senna, that was incredible how close that was going to be when Top Secret came out of the pits at the very end. And by the end, it looked like about a 5-second gap is what it came down to. And it appeared that Top Secret was able to get through the GT300 traffic a little bit quicker, but just couldn't pull the lap times that Senna was running. Top Secret, you want to give us your thoughts on the race and what went into it? How about we go over to Senna then?
There he is. Mr. Merkel had a question for you, Thomas.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. Wise words from FMS Top Secret there.
Good answer.
All right, so Ferrari Fanatic and Senna here have got 1st and 7th place points, which we've kind of done back of a napkin math on it, and have figured out that they're right around 180 points that they've collected from that. And with the Serpent Racing guys getting 2nd and 3rd, they're going to be putting up somewhere around 160, maybe even 170 when you take in the
165. I just did the math.
It appears we've just done a little bit more napkin math. 165 is what it looks like Serpent Racing will be getting. So, wow, really, really close. And when we came into this weekend, a 4-point gap. So, yeah, the team championship couldn't be closer at this point. Mr. Dr. Spaceman, you had a pretty good performance here today. Considering
180 for Jet Vets.
Your grid penalty and whatnot, you did quite well.
I think he suffered some damage, I believe.
Yeah. Lap 1 in the hairpin.
Lap 1, he never called the restart, though. He said he liked the party. Quoted by Mr. Dr. Spaceman.
Well, hey, that's it's still impressive stuff to see people choose to just go ahead and race on and take it as is. So props to him, Skullsy Slash. That was a brilliant performance for you. One of your few for Group A. No mic on him, so I won't ask his opinions on how he did today. But it was still a pretty impressive show from pretty much everybody in here, and really looking forward to the finale.
In favor of Serpent Racing over Jet Vets.
I don't get to say anything.
Hey, BTR Dark Dragon, how about you give us your opinions on this race?
As long as Dragon stays back.
It was alright to me. Scree had a little.
Alright, Ryan, so it's 1,034 points for Serpent Racing and 1,025 points for Jet Vets.
Damn, it was a pretty good race. I came 5th again. Alright, Riffit.
Didn't get any damage from that little rub-in?
From who? Me? No, not from you.
Well, you gave me damage when you smacked me on that last turn. When you came in, you grabbed this side.
A little bit of
I was
a
forced
little bit of
to,
a public
stay
call
on
out
the
there on
outside
ZX Squid there. All right, Moon Tower, did you have collision with Senna?
Taking that out on the squid.
Yeah, coming into turn 3, just car kind of reacted a little bit oddly to being right next to him. I don't think either one of us picked up any damage or anything from it, though.
That's what we
Just
saw on the telemetry, is that there was no damage, but it appeared that there might be a little bit of contact there. We weren't sure whether it was lag or whether there actually was a tap.
No, it would have been my fault for trying to tuck back in a little bit too quickly, but it was little enough that it wasn't anything, so I apologize for that. But glad we didn't come out with any damage.
Apology
Sorry,
accepted.
Spaceman, I gave you damage.
I'm not looking forward to the next race. This is going to be shit.
All right, guys. Well, I don't know about you guys, but I can't wait for Suzuka. This season finale is going to be epic, and I'm really looking forward to seeing, especially, I think we know how the Drivers' Championship is going to turn out for GT500, but I'm really excited to see where the Team Championships for both GT500 and GT300 are going to be, and I hope you all can make it to that. Until next time, next week, you'll have to see us. If you do like our content, please go out to facebook.com/Formula Forza and like us there. You can also follow us on Twitter @Formula Forza, and you can also go to YouTube and browse our content there. Thanks for watching, guys.